Hello and welcome to Music DNA, the show that will help you discover the insights of music. I'm your host, Ahmed Torresilla. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the composers from the African diaspora. To help me expand on this topic, I have Mr. Kevin Bumpers, professor of piano at MDC Kendall campus. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Bumpers has been doing research on the music from the African American composers. He has been performing a lot of recitals, including original and rearranged music from them. Can you please help us enlighten the audience?
Yes, we are interested in performing music for duo piano and duet piano literature of African American composers. And I decided to do a lot of research on these works because they were underrepresented in the major repertoire of the classical music genre. And so in doing the research, we found some pieces that were written originally for duo and duet piano, and then I arranged some of the compositions from some of the composers' solo repertoire.
That's great. How has this project enhanced your teaching and learning?
Well, the research of locating the composers was probably the biggest discovery, because we learned about composers who we don't normally hear about, and their accomplishments in the field of classical music, and in presenting this music also to my students and to my colleagues, and that we were able now to present these compositions to the public so that they are informed.
Great. We're going to watch and listen to a series of pieces based on African American culture. Can you talk a little bit about the three pieces?
Yes, these three pieces were written by Florence Price, who's the first African American female to have a symphony performed by a major orchestra in the United States. The pieces represent a lot of Americana from an African American culture. The first piece is called hoe cake, which is like a pancake sort of dish that they make in the African American culture. And then the next piece is called rabbit foot, which is like a good luck charm that people carry around. And the last piece is called tickling toes, which is a fun, sprightly piece.
Okay, so this is a great time to go and watch the video.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
Fresh thinking is being served at Miami-Dade College. Create your own recipe for success in the evolution of food culture at the Miami Culinary Institute. Learn the skills you need to jumpstart your career in the culinary arts. Turn green into gourmet and celery into salary. Miami Culinary Institute. Food, culture, innovation. Visit us at miamidadeculinary.com. Register now. Miami Culinary Institute.
Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed the video as we have. Can we talk about the piece Out of the Silence?
Yes. Out of the Silence is written by William Grant Steele. It is an original solo piano composition that I arranged for a duo piano. And duo piano is two pianos played by two different people. This composer himself is considered the dean of the African-American composers. He's probably the most well-known. He's the first to have his symphony performed by a major orchestra as a black composer, and has a number of compositions for piano and orchestra and chamber music.
Okay, I will take something for your first words on this segment. Can you explain to the audience what's the difference between a piano duo and a duet?
Yes, a piano duo is two pianos being performed by two different people. Duet is two people on the same piano.
That's great. Let's go to the video.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
Fresh thinking is being served at Miami-Dade College. Create your own recipe for success in the evolution of food culture at the Miami Culinary Institute. Learn the skills you need to jumpstart your career in the culinary arts. Turn green into gourmet and celery into salary. Miami Culinary Institute. Food, culture, innovation. Visit us at miamidadeculinary.com. Register now. Miami Culinary Institute.
Here we're back in the studio and ready to talk about the piece Troubled Water, inspired by the spiritual Weight in the Water. Can you please talk a little bit about this?
Yes. This piece was written by Margaret Bonds, and she was a student of Florence Price and became a very popular concert pianist and composer in America. This piece is a solo work that's very popular from her spiritual suite. And out of the 3 pieces from that suite, this is the only one that's actually published. And it has become very popular amongst the repertoire of a lot of concert pianists. And I decided to make it a duo piano work because she had no duo piano pieces in her repertoire, but yet she was one of the most famous composers that we have on our list. And so I decided that this would be a great idea. And I'm inspired to write the 2 pieces because I could see how 2 people can actually make that piano piece work.
Well, that's great.
Yes.
After this piece, we will have the pleasure to meet the composer of the next piece, Variations on Amazing Grace, Mr. James Ford. See you after the video.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
Fresh thinking is being served at Miami-Dade College. Create your own recipe for success in the evolution of food culture at the Miami Culinary Institute. Learn the skills you need to jumpstart your career in the culinary arts. Turn green into gourmet and celery into salary. Miami Culinary Institute. Food, culture, innovation. Visit us at miamidadeculinary.com. Register now. Miami Culinary Institute.
Welcome back. As I announced before, here we are with Mr. James Ford. Welcome, Mr. Ford.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Ford is a composer and pianist. He's written variations on the popular hymn Amazing Grace, and I would like him to share with us how he came up with this idea. Will you enlighten us, Mr. Ford?
Yes, I will. I was working at a church, by the way. The name of the church was Grace Church, which is in the title of the piece, Amazing Grace.
Uh-huh.
And I was teaching two twins, they were my students, and I wrote it for them.
That's great.
The unfortunate thing about it is that they only got up to the first 4 variations before they lost interest in it, But I had written, I think at that time I had completed writing down the first 8 variations. Yeah, but I didn't. Only thing I had to do was the cadenza and the fugue at the end there. I didn't quite get to that at that time, but after they lost interest, I didn't finish the piece until years later. I think it was 2008, I think, when I finished
2008,
it.
wow.
Yeah,
It's a real pleasure to have you here.
yes.
Okay, so let's watch the video.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
Fresh thinking is being served at Miami-Dade College. Create your own recipe for success in the evolution of food culture at the Miami Culinary Institute. Learn the skills you need to jumpstart your career in the culinary arts. Turn green into gourmet and celery into salary. Miami Culinary Institute. Food, culture, innovation. Visit us at miamidadeculinary.com. Register now. Miami Culinary Institute.
Welcome back. To continue our conversation, I would like you to tell us the story of how you met and acquired the manuscripts from Mr. Ford.
Yes, I met Mr. Ford at a dinner party of a mutual friend, and there was a piano in the house. And of course, when there's a piano in the home, you know, musicians are going to flock to the instrument. And so everyone's taking their turn playing the piano. And Mr. Ford got on the piano and he started talking about some of the pieces that he has written. And he explained that I wrote this duet piece called Amazing Grace Variations. Mm-hmm. And of course, immediately, I'm excited because I've been doing the research and gathering this repertoire of Black composers' music and for duo piano and duet piano. And after he finished playing examples of how the piece goes, I asked him if I could perform the work. And it took a little while to get a hold of the score, but eventually we did.
Fortunately.
Fortunately, yes, because it was, by the time I got to him to get a hold of the score, shortly after that, there was a fire in his home, and he suffered some severe burns and was in the hospital for a long time. And we were very fortunate to get a hold of those scores before anything that the scores were lost and whatnot. But I was able to get a hold of it. I put it I took the manuscripts and put them into a computer software called Finale, where we can have a written printed music score of the work, and asked my colleague at the college to perform the work with me. And so now you have we were able to premiere the work on Miami-Dade campus in 2015.
That was great.
Yes, and he was present for the premiere of his work. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit about studying music in MDC Kendall campus. If somebody wants to study music there, what would you advise them to do?
Well, you can always call us at the Miami-Dade College Kendall campus at 305-237-2282 and set up an advisement counseling session to discuss your desires to study music, and we'll put you in the appropriate classes.
That's great. So now you know the phone number and everything if you are interested in music, which is super good for a lot of things in your life. Let's introduce the next piece, which is the Bambula. Can you explain the details of this piece?
Yes. Now, the Bambula is written actually by a British composer who's of African descent. His name is Samuel Coleridge Taylor. And he came to the United States in the early 1900s to do music with a music society in Washington, D.C. And when he would come back and forth to the United States, he heard the spirituals being sung in the United States. And he wrote a book of collection of these spirituals in piano solo form, using the melodies from the spirituals and African songs that he heard. And the Bambula is a African song that has a beat in it that resembles the bongo, where they would do dances in the Congo and New Orleans, or from the islands of Haiti, that inspired the piece. And this solo work, he has, I have to go back and say that Coleridge Taylor has music for duo piano, but this particular piece was not arranged in that, and it's one of his most popular concert works. And so I thought that this would be a good idea for me to arrange this piece for this recital.
Great. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed all this great music from the Black composers. This is a very good research Mr. Kevin Bumpers has been doing, and it's super important to know that there are great composers in the African diaspora. I would like you to tell us how the rhythm cell of the bambula goes, because I remember that from the recital we were filming.
Well, it has a particular rhythm where it goes pam, pa-da-dum, pam, pa-da-dum, pam. And so you'll hear that constant beat going on in the composition, resembling the bongos.
It's amazing how music resembles things in our daily life. There are a lot of examples in the history of the music.
Yes.
Examples like battles, trains, that one from the resembling the bongos.
Yes.
So I hope you enjoyed all the music you has been listening to, and particularly this one that comes in the next video. That's all for today's episode. I am Ahmed Torresilla. Remember to make music your style of life. See you next episode. Thank you for watching.